I got laid off today. After I moved here for only 4 weeks, I got laid off.
Let me hold your hand while I say this. Nobody is safe from layoffs.
I've been laid off. I don't have a f***ing job. I'm unemployed. I have no income. Oh, I'm so
So we're only a month into the year and the layoffs just keep on coming. I honestly can't say that I'm surprised, but it doesn't make it any less terrible. We got a ton of stuff to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave them in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into it.
Bloomberg is reporting that multiple US companies are announcing mass layoffs, and these others are expected to do the same in what's quickly becoming one of the largest countrywide job cuts in recent history. And the latest sign that major changes are coming for the United States economy, employers across nearly every sector, from tech to healthcare, have announced layoffs totaling in the tens of thousands, with some companies citing efficiency gained from AI as the main reason. It's likely most are conducting the cuts as purely a money-saving measure intended to quickly boost the company's stock price, and this time no one was safe as the hardest hit companies spanned multiple industries. In tech, Amazon led the charge by laying off 16,000 corporate employees, most of them engineers. Pinterest followed by letting go roughly 15% of their entire workforce. Other sectors impacted include Nike and FedEx in the retail space, Expedia in travel, and Blue Shield of California in healthcare. But things are only getting worse from here, with even more companies announcing their intention to join in on future layoffs, as corporate America, including Microsoft, who announced that they will conduct one of the largest layoffs in their recent history, and UPS, who plans to cut a whopping 30,000 total jobs this year, both view the current situation as an opportunity to reduce headcount without drawing the public backlash that typically comes with mass job cuts.
Now that's going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this video. These companies don't actually care about you and are fine laying you off. They only care about the PR, the possible backlash they could get. Now going over to the comments, there are a lot of comments talking about AI now, saying things like this: it's not AI, it's offshoring. AI efficiency, just say offshoring. My company is closing some departments and plans to reopen them in India, and guess what the CFO is going to say? Now I know we're all sick of hearing about artificial intelligence, this and that, being incorporated in virtually everything now, but it's also sounding like an excuse these companies are starting to use just to be able to hire people outside of the country and the other side of the world for, of course, significantly less pay. Now I asked you guys in an older video, do you know anybody who's been laid off recently? And there were a ton of replies. Yes, me, too many people to feel comfortable. Me, no preamble, just locked out of the system. Yep, my boss's boss, that's never a good sign. Seasonal layoff during the most expensive month. I was laid off back in July and got hired a couple weeks ago doing the same thing for a different company but making $8 less an hour. Was even worse for my former coworker though. He was laid off while he was out of the country on his honeymoon. Yep, I know several people. My company does marketing for automakers, and since auto sucks right now, we just got hit with a round of layoffs 2 weeks before Christmas. My boss was laid off last week, another one. Had a good friend get laid off after returning to work after Thanksgiving. This was also when his wife was pregnant and due about 2 months later. I went on short-term disability and my company of 13 years fired me. I filed a wrongful termination complaint and got $10,000. I have 6 friends who will be laid off at the end of January, basically when this is uploaded. Another one had her position eliminated in September. I'm scared on a daily basis. I have a friend that lost her job about 3-4 months ago and still can't find a job. She moved back in with her parents who are fighting with her every day, not understanding the job market today. I really could have made an entire video just going through all of responses. There's honestly just too many to count.
I got laid off today. After I moved here for only 4 weeks, I got laid off.
I'm getting laid off. I am 99% sure. My company has been going through layoffs every month, pretty much. Not really, but like a lot. Last month was the last round, and it's been rumored. And yesterday I kept seeing a ton of stuff on the Blind app where people were saying it's going to be bigger than we've ever seen. There's a 15-minute calendar meeting on my calendar right now. So for the next 6 minutes, I'm sweating bullets. I will be back to let you guys know, did I get laid off? And if you've ever seen my face before, you know this is ridiculous. Like, do you think this is the final round where I'm axed? So stay tuned.
So unfortunately, we'll head right over to the comment section. First comment, what happened? They dumped me. Same got laid off in June and kept around till December to assist with the transition. It's been brutal. Not sure what is worse, being let go immediately or asked to stay around and deal with it. I got laid off twice this year. I've been laid off 5 times since 2020. Going back to the first clip as well, that experience is very common now. People moving to different states or across the country for a job, and within a couple months or weeks, they end up getting canned when they uprooted their entire life. Obviously spending a ton of money to do so, and now what are you supposed to do? But we could switch over to the job market as a whole right now with the most recent jobs report.
The jobs report was released today and the U.S. labor market is frozen. So I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, everybody knows that the labor market is weak, but then again, it's not collapsing and of course it's not booming. But we're in a situation right now, at least for December, that was reported on, that the hirings and the layoffs are slowing down, both of them. I want to show you this chart showing the monthly jobs added or lost for the past few years. And as you can clearly see, it's a downward trend. The U.S. labor market has been weakening, which is why the Federal Reserve has been cutting interest rates. And just take a look at where we are today, 50,000 jobs added, right? But I do want to point this out because I told you this last time that this would happen, and I know that many people agreed and they knew that this was coming. The government previously reported that we lost 105,000 jobs in October, okay? Now they revised it downward to job losses of 173,000 for October. And that's not a small amount. Like, how are they off by about 70%? Like, it's ridiculous.
So even with the apparent 50,000 jobs created, you really cannot trust it. And even with people saying that the job market is frozen right now, it really only seems to be frozen because they're constantly cooking the books month after month. Then, you know, a few months later when people aren't paying attention, they go and revise the numbers down to actually show how bad it is. And that's been happening pretty consistently since I started making videos on this channel. I'm amazed that they could get away with this for so long with absolutely no consequences.
If you're a new grad and you're looking for a job, you are facing the worst job market for people who recently graduated in almost 10 years. Right now, the unemployment rate for people who recently graduated has hit an almost 10-year high. So if you've been looking and you've been having trouble, know that it is not you, and ignore all of those people who are saying that it's somehow having to do with your effort. It's not that at all. It's the economy. And you can literally see it right here in the unemployment rate for new grads. The fact that things haven't been this bad in almost 10 years says a lot. Companies aren't hiring, and they are particularly not hiring when it comes to those entry-level positions. Many of them feel that they might as well let AI take a crack at the work as opposed to letting the next generation come in and start to gain professional experience so that they can get better and better for the more advanced jobs to come.
But then my immediate thought looking down the road is that so many people aren't going to have enough experience for the more demanding jobs that require 5 or 10 years in the field. Unless you're really solid at networking and know someone who can guarantee you a job, it's not looking too good right now for recent graduates who also put themselves in 5 or 6 figures worth of student debt just to be able to get the requirements to possibly do that job. And we got a ton of clips like this up on screen right now at job fairs POV. Companies at the career fair are not hiring. I still don't really understand why they would be here if they're not hiring at all. I know they could probably use it as a tax write-off, but overall it's just a complete waste of time. Leaving the career fair, no internships, 2 hand sanitizers, 4 pens, 25 scan the QR code, and send your resume in just like everybody else does on Indeed and LinkedIn, basically guaranteeing that nobody's going to see your application. First experience at a hiring event with a long line of people that are honestly just not going to get a job. I really just don't understand it.
When people tell me how long they've been unemployed for, because I've been unemployed for 4.5 months and I feel like I'm on the verge of a psychotic break at this point. Thank you.
2.5 years, 6 months, 0 interviews, hundreds of applications. Getting interviews but no offers. I was unemployed for a year. 9 months and 9 interviews. I was previously employed at the same place for 26 years. I had no idea the job market was going to be this brutal. I've been unemployed for 6 months and have a master's and bachelor's degree. My son's going on 8 months with a master's and 2 undergrads. Another person just says 3 years. I've been unemployed since May of 2025. Took took me almost 2 years to get a full-time job I currently have, probably close to 2,000 applications. 14 months in 2023 to 2024, 6 months unemployed, 8 months, I'm coming up on 6 months again. It took my friend with a master's and 6 years experience about 9 months. 13 months unemployed, I've been unemployed for 2 months and I'm terrified. Haven't heard back from a single job I've applied for. 3 months now, it's rough out here, non-stop rejections. There are thousands of comments like this. We got another one right here from you guys as well. I can't even find a job at a grocery store. Trader Joe's denied me an interview. The store isn't even open yet and is hiring people. Do I need experience stocking shelves? A job I did when I was 16 years old. I'm 42 now, have tons of work experience, including management and supervision experience. This is getting ridiculous. And especially for people who've been working for a lot of their life, it really becomes part of your identity. So if you end up getting laid off or can't find a job for a long period of time, it truly does take a mental toll.
Nothing humbled me more in life than getting laid off. 100%. I even started a new job after getting laid off, and I have all of these residual fears of, oh no, if I do this, I'm going to get fired. What if I get fired? Like, I have a constant fear of getting fired. It's more of like a pride and ego thing. And I hate to admit that because I never thought that I had one until I got laid off. But man, my whole identity has been shaped around my career. And so when I was laid off, it was this like, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? Because all I talked about before was, yeah, this is how work went, and this is the project I was working on, and so boring. I mean, wow, what a party pooper. But I mean, it taught me so much too about life.
But at the end of the day, they do not care about you. They only care about the bottom dollar. If there's any way to save a bit of money and have their stock price go up a penny, you're going to be thrown out the door in a heartbeat. There is zero loyalty.
Let me hold your hand while I say this. Nobody is safe from layoffs. If you work for a large corporation, at some point, you may be on the list. I know people who have been promoted January 1st, laid off January 15th. I know people who have given their heart and soul for many, many years, have gotten laid off. So if you take nothing from what I say, take this. Make sure you have other income options and start today.
While I do agree with that, it's much easier said than done. I know everybody's trying some sort of side hustle online now, but because of that, a lot of niches get oversaturated very quickly, and if you needed some capital to start up your side business and never made any money, you're just now even deeper in a hole without a main source of income as well. They sent a girl to Florida to work on a project. Mid-flight, she got an email saying she was laid off. Her return flight was canceled by corporate, so she had to pay for her flight back home. She was the girl who worked on the weekends for her boss. They do not care about you. I feel like that's definitely something you should probably talk to a lawyer about. And we got another comment from you guys here. Companies expect you to give them 2 weeks notice, but they don't give you any.
Work friends aren't your real friends. The day I got laid off, I had 47 work friends. 3 months later, I'd heard from 2 of them. Here's what work friendships actually are. For 12 years, we had lunch together every day, complained about management every day, celebrated birthdays, shared personal problems, went to happy hours. I thought these were my friends, real friends. Then I got laid off. The day it happened, sympathy texts, so sorry, let's stay in touch. We should get coffee. Week 1, a few check-ins. How are you doing? Hang in there. Week 2, silence. Month 1, I reached out. Want to grab lunch? I'm so busy. Let's find a time. We never do. Month 2, I see the Instagram posts. They're at happy hour without me. Month 3, I stopped trying. Here's what I learned. Work friends are friends of convenience. You're friends because you're both stuck in the same place at the same time. You bond over shared misery, shared goals, and shared schedules. The moment you're not there anymore, you're not part of the shared experience. So you become a reminder of what could happen to them.
This really does sound like a nightmare. That's why I hate it when workplaces say, we're a family. Nope, I retired last year. No one's reached out to me at all. Worked for a company for 11 years, retired a year ago. It was like a normal Friday. Punched out, went home, no cake, cupcakes, no thank you for years, not even a see ya. But going back to a comment I said earlier in the video where they don't care about actually firing you, they only care about their PR and the possible backlash they could get, they're coming up with new sneaky ways to try to fire you with the least amount of pushback.
Hey, so I just wanted to quickly touch base with you and remind you that you are doing an absolutely stellar job at this company. And it's not just me who feels this way. Keep this between me and you, but me and also Phil are talking about you behind the scenes. And let me tell you face to face that you are headed on the right trajectory, okay? You're on a great path, so just keep doing what you're doing. One quick thing though, I'm gonna share a doc with you that I need you to start filling out on a weekly, maybe daily basis. It's just an activity tracker. It'll help me help you. It'll just tell me what you're working on a daily basis so that I know that you maintain on the right path. So just start filling that out on a regular basis, and at the end of each week, we'll go through it together. HR might pop in here and there just to make sure that we're all holding each other accountable. But seriously, good work, and keep it up.
HR here, they're building a paper trail to have a good reason to fire you. That way, if there's any accusations of wrongful termination or discrimination, they have evidence you were fired for your performance. Always trying to find a way to trap you. I had the exact same conversation and was asked to complete a daily tracker for the same reason. I asked if it was a requirement for all accounting and was told I was being combative. As soon as I got asked to track everyone's equipment, I knew our team was getting laid off. They do this so they could have a list of what needs to keep moving after they let you go so nothing gets dropped. This is exactly what happened to me as they were firing me. Another one, this is exactly how my termination went as well. We got another comment from you guys right here. My husband was laid off the week before Thanksgiving after 22 years with the same company. It was horrible and they did it so coldly. 22 years means nothing to these corporations.
I think the layoffs we saw in 2025 are just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to see a much bigger elimination of headcount here in 2026. And I'll tell you two reasons why. First one, the layoffs have become a drug for businesses. They're using layoffs as a business strategy and they're not going to be able to quit it. It's just a super easy way to improve profitability. But the bigger picture is going to be three letters, RPE, and that's revenue per employee. And I think this is going to be driver of those playbooks, right? The profits over people playbook is going to be the metric that all these companies are looking at. And I'm going to share why. If you look at NVIDIA, their current revenue per employee is over $5 million. And if you look at some of the other big companies like Microsoft, their current RP is 1.29 million. Amazon's only at 438,000. Alphabet 2 million. Meta closer to 2.56 million. I think this is the metric that shareholders are going to demand and what's going to drive the stock price.
And like I said earlier, that's the only thing that they care about. And whether it's finding ways to genuinely use AI instead of people, or they find another person in a different country to do the same job for much less, they're only thinking about that RPE.
Laid off last December, not this December, last December 2024, right after I got married. And then I got a job this last August after being unemployed for like 8 months. And then I also got laid off from that job. So it's going great. It's going great. If anyone knows anything about how to get a job in this economy, in this type of, is the worst field to be in is probably sales and marketing, but here I am. Unfortunately, that's what my degree is in, and unfortunately, that's the only experience I have. So if some person tells me to go back and spend more to go into more debt for another degree that might work, maybe, possibly, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that because that's not useful.
I mean, I don't really know what to say because she's in the same boat as a lot of the CS majors. 10 years ago, everybody under the sun was telling you to get a computer science degree. You'll be making 6 figures immediately. Oh, you're going to be so rich. Now that entire field is an absolute bloodbath, and with the advancements of technology, it doesn't seem to be getting better anytime soon. We got another comment from you guys right here. I hate my job with every fiber of my being. However, I'm blessed to have a job right now, so I'm just hanging on. And now we could transition to the other side of that statement, people quitting their jobs today with absolutely zero backup plans.
So now I'm unemployed and I feel sick because I don't know, because I still have bills to pay. I have a car lease and my car insurance and my dog and my apartment.
So if you've been following along with my videos, I've been dealing with a severe mid-career crisis. So I just started my career in sales and decided that I can't hack it in sales.
So I've been doing sales for one of the top broadcast companies, and my problem has just been that I cannot create enough work-life separation. So the way that people were speaking to me and when I was having to call people, the way that they were treating me was just bleeding so much into my personal life. There were about 100 other reasons, but that was probably the biggest one. Is it was devastating to my mental health at home. So I just quit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't really have a savings. It was probably super irresponsible of me to just quit my job without a plan.
And I would agree with that statement. I know that a lot of these jobs are pretty demanding. You're overworked and underpaid, especially if you're in sales. At least in my opinion, that's something that I would want to stay very far away from. I do not have that type of personality whatsoever. But again, the economy is pretty rough right now, along with the job market. Your new job is applying to jobs. I'm talking nearly 100 applications every day. You'll be able to get something within 3 weeks. I don't know, that seems pretty optimistic, especially comparing to some of the experiences we've seen in this video. I hate my job, but I refuse to quit. I'm quitting my job in 5 hours with no plans. Let's go. This is a terrible time to do this, but YOLO. The comment right after that, I quit my job back in July. Worst decision I've ever made for myself. Why on earth would you quit your job with nothing lined up in this job market? It's an absolutely abysmal job market. I did that and I was unemployed for 8 months, just asked for the job back. Girl, I haven't found a job in 6 months trying every single day. Jobs are so hard to find. We got another one up on screen too. I just quit my job before my first day back from maternity leave. Went in and packed my stuff with no notice. Sent an email to my toxic boss. I have no backup plan. I still need income, but I feel in my soul I'm supposed to do this. To be with my baby, prioritize motherhood, and the answer for what's next will come. But I think the top comment makes a very good point. Prioritizing your child means being financially responsible as well. I hope they don't make you pay back your maternity leave wages. Some companies do that if you don't return from leave. My friend did this and then had to pay back all of her medical benefits while she was on maternity leave. A couple grand in total. I don't know about that one, but we'll finish off this video with an example of somebody who really did this to themselves. I know that there are a lot of clips we've seen that people are just getting blindsided. No notice, they didn't do anything wrong, just constant rounds of layoffs, and eventually you got screwed. But for this example, it definitely seems like it could have been avoided.
I just got fired. I haven't gotten fired since I was a teenager. And it was because of me calling out of work and being late. And I loved that job. I loved that job. This is a reminder that you were disposable. I just trained somebody new, so now that they have the new trainee, they're fine, right?
You loved it so much you never showed up. It's not that you're disposable, it's because you weren't responsible. You said you got fired for calling out and showing up late. That's on you. At some point, you have to grow up and be responsible for your own actions. Ma'am, weren't you aware that you needed to show up and work the days and hours you agreed upon? I was only late 40 times and missed 20. Why would they fire me? If you call out often or are late a lot, they learn to be without you. Now they could give the job to someone who actually wants it. There were almost 10,000 comments on this video. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.